What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the 10 at 10. I am super excited to talk with you today about how to move beyond your past. Right away, if you saw the headline, if you jumped in here and you are listening to this, right away, you're probably thinking of things that are holding you back from your past. So, for me personally, I used to argue with people from my past all the time. The conversations in my head, going, right? It might be your parents. It might be a past relationship that you were a part of. For me personally, I had some teachers that I argued with. I definitely had my mom in there, my dad a little bit. Um, Man, it's been so long since I've really struggled with this. I still have things that come up, but I have learned a tool, if you will, that allows me to move beyond it. So I used to, I would want to move forward. I would have something I wanted to do, especially when I started my business in 2014, 2015. I really I would start to make forward progress, right? I would journal some stuff out. I would spend some days working on my business plan, working on growing the business, but I would have these negative voices in my head that usually came in the form of a high school teacher, somebody I knew in high school, somebody that I went to college with, somebody that they weren't necessarily ill-meaning, but they were giving me bad advice. They were telling me that I wasn't good enough, that I was going to be judged, that I was going to be shut down, that I wasn't going to be successful. And the thing that changed all of that, we've talked about a lot of tools on this channel. The thing is that a lot of times we are holding on to blame and resentment. And these things are connected. Those voices that you hear in your head usually come from somebody that you're blaming for holding you back. Well, if that person wouldn't have done XYZ, right? And this is where anger comes from. It's where a lot of frustration comes from. If you find yourself angry a lot, if you find yourself frustrated, this tool is going to help you get rid of that as well. You might be saying, well, what is it? It starts with the letter F. And it's forgiveness. Forgiveness has nothing to do with the other person and everything to do with you. It has to do with freeing your mind up from the blame game. So when we are blaming somebody else, right now, there's a lot of blame going on in the world. We blame other people for making us late for things. We blame other people for not making enough money. We blame other people for not treating us the way that we are wanted, right? Blame other people for showing up late, showing up early, not giving us our due, whatever it is, right? If you tuned into yesterday's, I have a friend who was trying to rent out a bedroom in his condo, and he was super frustrated, super angry because the guy flaked on him at the last minute. And he decided to spend a lot of time and a lot of mental energy blaming that person, being angry, being frustrated. And we talked about it yesterday. You just have to let go of it. And how do you let go of it? You just say, I forgive you. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take responsibility for my emotions here, and it doesn't matter. Now, when I'm saying all this, you probably have some people in your past that you need to forgive, and it's popping up for you. And you're like, I can't forgive them. That was the first thing that happened with me. So I had to forgive my mom. I had to forgive, and now I have two families, so I have to be very clear about which mom I'm talking about here. I never had a problem with my birth mom. The mom that gave birth to me, I was always raised that she loved me, and I had this vision of her giving me up for adoption because she loved me. My mom who adopted me, though, we had some challenges growing up. I was a pretty strong-headed kid. Anyone who knows me from back then will definitely tell you I was a handful. I'm still a handful, but my mom did the best that she could. I held a huge amount of resentment and blame and anger and frustration. And 2014, I read a book that talked about this. It was the Four Agreements. If you never read that book, short, easy to read book. I don't have a copy of it here or hold it up. I actually gave it to somebody. I've given that book a lot as a gift. But forgiveness allows you to move past all of that just by saying, I forgive you. That you were doing the best you had with what you had, right? Somebody cuts you off in traffic. You want to get angry and yell and scream at them. I still have this happen sometimes. Usually it's the person's not going fast enough because I drive pretty fast. I'm like, what are you doing in the left-hand lane? Get out of my way. That person is in their own world. They're not there to piss you off. They're not there because they're trying to be mean to you. They're there doing the best that they can with what they have. And when you choose empathy and you say, you know what, that person's doing the best they can with what they have, and they're doing what is right for their life in that moment, that allows you to forgive them very quickly. It allows you to stop blaming them for something. My friend with the condo, right? The guy called him and he said, I just found a place that's a little bit cheaper and that's the right thing for me. When you put yourself in his shoes, you know what? Maybe it is the right thing for him. And did he commit? So my friend is upset because he's like, well, he committed. He said he was going to do X, Y, Z. He said he was going to do it. Well, sometimes people break commitments. That has nothing to do with you. And you can be angry and you can be frustrated and you can blame them and you can say you're owed something from them. This is the thing. When it comes to forgiveness, the reason that we don't forgive is because they owe us something. Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. You're probably never going to get that from them. And you holding on to anger and resentment and frustration is only hurting you. It is a poison that will never allow you to move forward in your life. The more blame, resentment, anger that you have, it's not going to get you anywhere. It might get you some short-term results. If you're really angry at somebody, it might force you to go out and, take some massive action, grow a business, make some sales. I'm showing them. But at the end of the day, it's not going to really drive you forward. If you want to free up mental space and you want to get the negative voices out of your head, start with forgiving the people, because when you forgive them, you rob all the energy out of the voices that argue with you all the time. Those voices are arguing with you because they're fed by the anger and the frustration and the blame by not forgiving them. So a little bit different take on today's, not quite as high energy, but a very, very powerful tool. If you know that you need to forgive someone, I would challenge you today to do it. Reach out to that person, send them a text, get on the phone with them, do whatever you can. And if you don't think you can do it, I would tell you to write it out yourself, write it on a Post-it note, write it on a scrap of paper. That's how it starts. The process starts in your head up here. Do it how you can. It will come to a point that you can actually have the conversation with them. Somebody asked me actually about this. I was having a conversation, I don't know, a week or two ago around this. And they said, well, my parents are dead. I said, you can still forgive them because it has everything to do with you and nothing to do with them. All right, guys. I'm going to throw this up here really quickly. If you need stories that sell in your business, that's a lot of what I do. I just help people with marketing. I help people make more money. Somebody asked me yesterday, what do you do? And I said, well, I make my clients money. Usually we start with stories. We start with how to present better, how to do videos, how to build sales funnels, all of those things. If you want more information, you can go to storiesthatscale.com. Till tomorrow, take action, change lives, and make money. I will see you soon, and I wish you all the best.